I had to talk to all these people about it, and I was super upset. And I said no. And it was heated rivalry.
Margaret!
Welcome back to another episode of I Never Liked You with Matteo Lane and Nick Smith. And today we have a very special guest. We have comedian Margaret Cho.
Hi.
Hey, Margaret.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I already promised Margaret that I'm going to nerd out and ask some nerdy comedy questions, but we're very excited to have you here, gay icon.
Yes.
You're amazing.
Comedy icon,
I love you. Thank you.
Icon in general. We're in a
love
new
it.
location because we are temporarily in LA. So we were using Bob the Drag Queen's studio. And the second we knew we were going to be in LA, we said, we need to get Margaret on the podcast.
Oh, well, I'm so honored. Thank you.
Of course.
New York City, I am doing a comedy show at the Bell House on Saturday, June 20th, and it is going to be bigger and better than ever. It is a new format, a new location, and much more me. So if you've been wanting to see me more on stage, get your tickets. And if you're not wanting to see me on stage more, still get tickets. The link is in the description.
Okay, we'll just have fun and chit chat, but I do want to know some nerdy stuff.
Okay.
Where and when did you start stand up, and who were the comics you were like kind of running around
coming
with?
up with.
I started stand up in and around the early 80s in San Francisco. So the comics that I was seeing a lot were Paula Poundstone, who I was obsessed with.
Sure.
So, and I'm still obsessed with her. I still think she is the best.
She's so funny.
She's really extraordinary. Like, she's just incredible. And I think that, she, gave me a sort of a lifelong obsession. Ellen was an opener.
She was.
Ellen was
Interesting.
emceeing shows. Isn't that crazy?
That is so
It
crazy.
kind of makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But like the more, it just sort of, I guess, makes sense than where the trajectory of her career went.
She was like the first comic. Like, it's just so weird to think about. The people that I started with are, I think, that lived in my neighborhood. We all lived around the Holy City Zoo, which was a club on Clement Street, which Robin Williams was the silent owner of. So the guys that lived on the corner were Patton Oswalt and Brian Posehn and Blanca Patch.
Oh my God.
And Ron Lynch lived up the street. Ron Lynch had one of those comedy houses where it was all comics that lived there. And so now I don't think a lot of people would know they're like all directors and like producers and stuff. They didn't actually stay in comedy, but they stayed in entertainment.
Right.
But the people that would come, like Janeane Garofalo would crash there. And I think Greg Barrett crashed there and lived there.
Did you and Janeane used to do a show, I think maybe when you moved to LA, called Hot Cup of Talk?
Yeah, at the Groundlings. Me and Janeane and Kathy Griffin.
I can't even imagine that show. And none of you were like famous then.
No, none of us
so
were.
crazy.
We were all sort of like a little bit more than open micers. I think we were like middles.
Yeah.
You were at that like next level.
Yes, because the Ben Stiller show hadn't happened yet. She hadn't been like in all of the movies yet. But I was obsessed with Janeane.
Yeah.
Like we just wanted to be her. And she kind of had like a thing for me. And like, because I taught her how to smoke cigarettes, which is unfortunately... She thought, you look so cool when you smoke cigarettes, because we all smoke Marlboro Lights. And she's like, I just want to look cool doing it. So I showed her how to do it. And I think she still smokes.
I don't know.
But she looks cool.
She also looks
does
cool.
look cool.
Very Romy
Thanks
Michelle,
to you.
where she was smoking that cigarette really quickly.
So that's all my technique.
So what was I'm doing like a full nerd comedy podcast. I'm so sorry, but I don't have another opportunity to sit here and guffaw over you. So what was the goal at that time? Like, obviously it was late night, but there was also like Night at the Improv was like the sort of showcases happening at that time.
Yes.
And like, what was I need a clean 5 minutes for what? JFL? For what were you trying to do?
So you wanted to do like, the hope was to get on a big headliner's opening slot. So like I got to do that like with Jerry Seinfeld, and I got to do that with Howie Mandel. Howie Mandel would like do shows and I would go open for him, and you would make a bunch of money doing that. So that was like kind of the thing, like maybe I can get onto a show. Or Brett Butler also. I got on a lot of shows with her, and she would take me around. So that was the main goal. That and Star Search.
Oh my God, yes.
Star Search was one.
By Ed McMahon?
With Ed McMahon, who was alive then.
This is a dumb question. Oh, they did do adults because Keith Robinson, I believe, lost his Star Search. And because I only know Star Search via like Christina Aguilera when she was 5 or Britney Spears.
Yeah.
But they did have adult comedy.
They had adult comedy. I was not allowed to do regular Star Search. They put me on Star Search International.
Why?
So, because I wasn't white.
No.
So
even though you lived in America fully,
but they still had to give me some kind of a niche. So I was representing South Korea.
This is like your joke where they're like, Margaret, we're changing over to an ABC affiliate. Can you tell us in your native language that we're making that transition? So I looked at the camera and I said, they're changing to an ABC affiliate.
It's exactly right. Perfect.
I mean, we can also get into that because I'm curious what kind of bullshit you had to deal with. Because I just know from being gay what kind of bullshit we had to deal with. But I mean, but I'm interested in knowing, like, okay, so you, Kathy, and Janeane had this show together.
Was it monthly or weekly?
It was supposed to be weekly, but then we would sort of get waylaid, and then somebody would be out of town, and then one of us had to go, and it was at the top of the bookstore, so there was no stage. It was just people in there reading. And
who were there not for a show.
Not for a show. So I went in there. I had to do it myself because they were both out of town. And I was so scared because there was all these people in there. And I'm like, are you guys here for the show? And they're like, no. And I just didn't do it.
There's a show?
Yeah. I didn't know how to like actually get it going because it was like just people in there browsing and drinking coffee. So
be honest, of the three of you, who was the most organized and sort of like running the show?
Kathy.
Yeah,
Kathy always was just like, she had flyers, she was passing them out, she was telling people, she would yell at the people to sit down and I'm going to do the show now and stuff like that. And, she always was extreme. Like if you see her now, like Kathy, before she does a show, she has all these like new jokes about local politics in the area. Yeah. And she'll come up with like her index cards with a million like things that she's studied. So she's quite a student. She's quite a good,
because
I'm a planner.
I've never met Kathy because when I was
is crazy to me.
That's crazy.
But it's when I was growing up, when I was 15. So when I was first sort of exposed to stand-up comedy, all we had, there was no gay men doing it. I mean, if there were, I know Mario Cantone, Jim Dave, I just didn't have access to these people, so I didn't see a gay man do stand-up until I was 23.
Of course.
Bill Cruz in Chicago. So, of course, it was you and Kathy.
Yeah.
And then later I discovered Joan, of course. But it was like, you guys were the only people I'd ever heard in my entire life ever speak about gay people. Same. Ever. Ever. And I was so fascinated. You almost felt like you were going to get in trouble listening to it because my homophobia was so internalized. I was like, but that was my first eye into gay people exist, and they exist in a positive way in someone's life. We weren't, no pun intended, the butt of the joke.
Yeah,
well,
it's
not
wonderful.
even just speaking about gay people. You were speaking about things that, like, internally, I was also like, oh, I think that too.
That's
I relate to that too.
I'm glad. I'm really glad.
So when you're starting out, okay, so now you're like you're middling-ish, right? Opening for other people. What was your first big break? Like, what was your first late night? What was your first TV spot that sort of launched it?
I think it was MTV's half-hour comedy hour, which I helped get through Jerry Seinfeld because they were there was a big comedy competition for college students, and I wasn't in college. I dropped out of high school, but I knew that I was the right age. Right. So I was in this comedy competition they had at like a local club, and I won the West Coast division. So it was me, John Glazer, and who was Midwest, and John DiMaggio, who was East Coast. And so we all went and competed, and John DiMaggio won. But the prize was to open for Jerry Seinfeld. And then Jerry saw me, and he was like, "You should be a comic, and you should do this." And and the producers of that show were the same producers of MTV's half-hour comedy hour, and his Mario Joyner was part of the sort of entourage there. So I did that, and it's helped me get Evening at the Improv. It helped me there was Comic Strip Live. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There was Comedy on the Road. There was all of these sort of A&E had like a couple of different comedy shows, and then VH1 had I think Stand Up Spotlight, with Bobby Collins at first, and then it was Rosie O'Donnell's show for a long time before she was in the movies.
And are you doing your tight five? Like, are you doing the same tight five everywhere pretty much?
No, it would be different. Like, you would just very, like, sort of work it out. And, you know, I had to, like, go through and do more. I got on, oh my God, a Dennis Miller's show.
Oh my God.
Dennis Miller had...
was that on HBO?
He had, no, this is before his HBO show. This was, he actually had like a network
show.
Like a late night talk show.
Oh.
So it was kind of like the Jon Stewart's show on MTV, which I also did. But for Dennis Miller, I was auditioning and I bombed so bad. So like really bad, like nobody made a sound for my whole audition. And it was packed as the improv. And only one person was laughing in the back. And it happened to be Dennis Miller. So he had me on, and that was like my first really big, like sort of late night talk show thing. I never got to do The Tonight Show until later, until I had been on television.
Was it Carson Still? He's ended in 91 or 2 or something like that.
So
when did you do All American Girl?
I did All American Girl in 1994.
Right.
How far into your career were you when you did All American Girl?
I'd been doing stand-up at that point for about 10 years, but I had not done, like, and I'd not gotten past The Tonight Show. I'd not gotten Letterman. I hadn't done any of those things. I just, the way that I got that was from Montreal, from Just for Laughs.
I was just going to ask, was it your Montreal?
Yeah.
New Face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that really was a big deal. And then when I came back to LA, there was a lot of offers to sort of sift through. And so that was what really changed everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had such an incredible career.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, in terms of like your writing style, obviously like comics when you're first coming up, it's very like documentary style. Here's who I am. Here's what's different about me. Here's where I'm from. You know, so how did your stand-up sort of evolve? Because the thing about you that I clung on to, especially as a comic, is that you don't talk like you're presenting an act.
Right.
The jokes are there.
Yeah.
But it's so masked between your natural way of speaking to an audience that I was like, oh, I like this approach.
Oh,
it
thank
didn't
you.
feel like, and now you're going to laugh.
It feels so conversational and effortless.
Yeah,
Even
thank
though it's
you.
not effortless, but you
Thank you.
make it
That's good.
feel effortless.
Yes.
That's good. I like that better. I think that's from Janeane.
Yeah.
You know, I think I was like such a student of her. She's so that way, you know, she just presents things so effortlessly. And, you know, she had a real rejection of like comedy as show business. So she's like, no, I'm here to tell you the truth and like what I think and what I feel. And we all kind of got that from Colin Quinn,
I love a good friend of mine.
who's a genius.
I love Colin.
Yeah, he's a really brilliant comedian, but he also has that style of like, you know, he comes across as you think that you're going to get one thing. Here's like a cis, bro, like tough guy from the East Coast. And you think that, but he is so thoughtful and really artistic in a very deep way, you know.
And also the knowledge, the history of knowing
Right.
everything.
And he
So
can be
much
fairly relatable
Yeah.
for not being the same as him.
Right. It's really profound. So I think we all, it was like, I just wanted to be like Janeane, and that's what I got it from. Like, and we sort of in the 90s, we didn't want to be in like clubs so much. We wanted to do like coffee houses, and there was a place.
You guys were the start of alt comedy.
Yeah. There was a place on Ludlow Street where there was no microphone. And we just thought we were just so cunt. We had like no
And
microphone.
you were.
Like
And
we
you
were
were.
just so cunty with like no microphone, and everybody's like on the same level. And then we were doing shows at Stella with the guys from the State.
Okay.
So those guys are also geniuses too. So it was just fun. Like we were having a kind of comedy time where we were sort of rewriting the landscape of what it meant to be a comic. And then we were called the Posse. There was like this New York Times magazine article about all of these people who were friends, which is like Janeane and Ben Stiller and David Cross and Bob Odenkirk and all that. And we were on we did a photo shoot and everything. But by that time, there had been some factions where people were like not speaking and like not cool with each other. So
Why? Why the
I think
drama?
somebody had a
always
girlfriend that went and it was somebody else's girlfriend.
What do they call him? Chuckle fucker?
Chuckle fucker.
Was a chuckle fucker running around?
No, she was a comedian,
Oh,
and then
mind.
she was with somebody, and then decided to be with somebody else, and it caused a huge rift. You know, like when you're in your 20s, it's kind of a big deal. Like when somebody just decamps, and these are like the straight people, so I don't know.
Straight people are messier. They call us messy.
No, straight
They're
people are
the messiest.
super messy and weird. Like it's just like,
so weird.
I mean, lesbians could never, it's just
Never.
never. And also lesbians, when somebody decamps and goes with another lesbian, it's like, well, that's going to happen. And we regroup, we come back
And
together.
move on.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Another one of my favorite jokes of yours, you talked about going on a lesbian cruise. And you're like, I don't want to say lesbians are jealous, but they are like, are you looking at her or her or her or her or her? I'm sorry, Margaret. I'm
No,
a big
I
fan
love
of you.
it. I'm a fan of you.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm curious. You've done so many different things throughout your career. If you had to, on the spot, which aspect was like looking back your favorite? Television or touring?
Or just favorite time.
Yeah.
I think favorite time would be probably the early 2000s after 9/11, but like when it was people were just really angry at the Bush administration.
Sure.
And like a move on. Like so 2003, 2004 was really fun to do stand up because there was like so much like angst and political upheaval, and it's kind of like what's happening now. Now's a really fun time to do stand up because people are so angry about politics in a
So much
similar way.
material there.
Yeah. So much material there and so much emotion.
Yeah.
The people are so like alive politically in the same way they were during the Iraq War. Like, and I think there's a lot of strength to harness back and forth. And so it becomes really fun. So I feel like it's happening again kind of now.
But also, I saw your set a couple weeks ago, and it is so crazy how like you're one of the few comics who like you can be angry on stage but still make us laugh.
Oh, thank you.
I just because some people really push the anger too much, and then the audience, you're still a comic, so
Yeah.
like you can feel the audience be like, "Oh, we don't know what to do with this energy."
Yeah.
Like with the comedian's losing control, but you were completely in control, and everything's funny, and you're learning.
Thank you. Well, I want to still always honor the profession. Like it's weird when people just like get mad about stuff and then it's like, this is for me. But that's weird. It's
Right.
like, why would you, why
Then
do
what are you
this?
doing?
Yeah,
Right.
why bother doing this if you're not there for everybody else? Like this
Right.
is
Go
like,
sit in your room and do it for a mirror.
it's so weird. So I've never quite got that.
Is there something you've never done that you're like, I wish that I could still do that?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't really know. I think it. Well, there's things that I haven't done that I should have done.
Okay.
That's great. Let's go
So
through.
last year, I got a pilot script for a show that I really loved, but it shot in Canada, and I was like so scared because I'm so vocal about hating ICE and hating this administration. I was like, I will get detained at the border, and I will be put in ICE detention if I go. And I was like struggling over it, and I was like, I had to talk to all these people about it, and I was super upset, and I said no. And it was heated rivalry.
Margaret!
I know, isn't that horrible? And because I love Jacob Turney also, like I love Letterkenny, like I love
We
him.
love all of them.
I
So-
can't even believe we reacted like two.
Yeah, and I was like, the pilot was beautiful, and I was like,
It's a beautiful
I want
show.
to do this, and like,
Can you watch it, or are you like
no,
scorned
I
by
watched it. I've hosted some rewatch parties, and I'm like, it kills me. Like it kills me because, and it's all because of Trump. Like this is
Of course.
another
But
loss.
another thing to blame
They're
him
doing
for.
a season
I
two.
asked them. We'll see.
They have to, for God's sakes. The show wouldn't
course.
exist
Right
without
a
you.
roll.
They've got to put you on
Right
the
a
goddamn
roll.
show.
But
Jacob,
I
roll.
watch it and I'm like, that's my child. Like Hudson is my child. Like,
Have you met them?
No, not yet. But I mean, of course, the woman who played the part did a great job, and she's wonderful and iconic, and everybody in it is the perfect. It came out so perfectly.
Well, I remember before I saw it, I was sitting on the couch drawing at home. I think it was snowing. And this is really before anybody was talking about it. So, of course, I get a phone call. It's like the 8th phone call from him a day. Matteo, what are you doing? I said, I'm sitting and drawing. You need to watch the show Hated Rivalry. I said, what is it? That's 2 hockey players. It's gay. You see a lot of ass. Just turn it on. It was like only the first episode was out. And I was like, oh, all right, fine. Even I was at home like, oh, like I was like kind of taken aback. And it was so good. And now all these women, like straight women, are falling in love with it, which is so, like they're like coming
just
in
won a
droves.
Peabody.
It's beautiful. Well, because I think it really solidified the fact that as queer people, we're here, even in this like politicized time where our existence is, it's become criminalized. We're here, and that people want to hear our stories and they want to see us, and it's just so remarkable. And Jacob's brilliant, and I love the show, and it makes me so excited for them. So I'm like, I still take ownership of it. Like I was supposed to be so I'm still in it. In my heart, I'm still in it. So I love it.
Aura Frame is the perfect Mother's Day gift, so you can remind her how much you love her and how much you have drove her up a wall. Do you ever think back about any times or events that you shared with your mom and you were laughing so hard from it because you were just driving her crazy? I mean, I know I certainly do. Many vacations growing up, I would make my mom laugh and also scream and scream because that's just what love is. Well, now with Aura Frames, you can remind her of that every day. You can preload photos before it ships. Keep adding from anywhere, anytime. So more memories that you create with her, the more you can add to it. Share your photos and videos effortlessly by downloading the free Aura app or text photos straight to your frame. Make Mother's Day special with Aura Frames. Named #1 by Wirecutter, you can save on the gifts moms love by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $25 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code INEVERLIKEDYOU. That's AURA frames.com, promo code INEVERLIKEDYOU. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Was there something from years ago that you were like, I wish I didn't say no to that? Or
Yes. Pamela Anderson had a real fascination with me when she was doing her show where she's, I think she's
superhero
like VIP.
Yeah. Right.
And so
I remember that show.
She kept asking me to do VIP, and I was so scared. I don't know why. I was so intimidated. I was like, I don't think I could do it. I don't know what that means. And I should have done it. I'm like, why was I so scared?
That kind of shocks me because like my perception of you as a fan for so many years was like fearless, will take on anything, say anything. And I think it's like endearing that you're still like at home thinking, very sensitively, like, oh, is this something I want to do? Is that something like I find that I really enjoy that.
Oh, thank you. But I was really scared and I didn't know what it meant. But I'm a big fan of hers and I wish that I had done that.
She's also had an amazing turnaround in her career. Like, what an amazing I love Pamela Anderson.
She's incredible.
She is incredible.
Really,
animal rights activist.
She's super cool.
And also, in her defense, she was so unfortunately part of that culture of that time where like they were just so unfairly harsh to women.
Right.
That like she's had to do this comeback because they just turned on them for no reason.
Right. And she's like fighting back against invisibility. She's now saying like, I'm here. You're not going to ignore the fact that I'm beautiful still without all of those sort of accoutrements of, all of this stuff. She can still do it. She still looks the same.
Of course.
But she's there like forcing her visibility in a way that is so political and powerful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Who are some of the gay men comics that you knew coming up? I mean, if you can say it. I don't know if anyone.
I think, people like Dame Edna.
Oh, yeah.
Who I had like a love affair on Twitter with. I've always had, before she passed away, like I had a lot.
The one that talks like this.
I love her. Scott Thompson, who is like my guy forever, and he and I, because when the Kids in the Hall first came to LA, it was like the Beatles.
Yeah.
And all of like the girl comics, we were just like, oh, we're going to meet them and we're going to each have one. We're all going to get one and they're all going to be our boyfriends. And of course I got Scott and Scott and I have always had that for each other, but he was like my guy. Yeah. And I think he's such a genius.
He is.
He's not quite like received his due for the icon that he is. I feel like that's still coming, the day that he will get his flowers, but he was so influential for gay comedy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, to be an openly gay, like, comedy icon in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, it's powerful. He was on the cover of a magazine with a pink triangle shirt, and it said, "Silence equals quiet," which I think is so genius. But him, Sandra Bernhard, always. But, you know, I think, really, like, yeah, so always Scott for me. Who else is gay? Like,
I know when I started in 2010, something like that, and the Bill Cruz was the first gay comic I'd ever met, and then James Adomian. Like when I moved to New York City, I love James. Talk about funny.
There was this sketch that he had online where it was him as Elon and then another guy as like RFK Jr. and you couldn't understand anything they were saying.
Sure.
But James, when he does Elon, he has a weird like box in his shirt, and then he does it like it's the teeth, but I can't even do it. He does it so right and spot on that it's so funny. But he's just such a brilliant,
and he's the nicest.
Yeah, beautiful guy.
Yeah, because I remember the crew that I came up with, like the queer group. I remember one night. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on the show. There was one night, probably in 2015. A bunch of the queer comics got together in New York, and we were like, we're just going to have a night out. This is before anyone had done anything. So it was me, Joel Kim Booster, Julio Torres, Cola Scola, Bowen Yang. We all just went out to these gay bars, danced the whole night away. And we're like, okay, see you guys in a bit. And then now, you know,
all the stars.
Joel's in a movie, and
everybody's
Julio's got specials, and Cole's got a Tony. You know, it was just such a fun night where I remember thinking to myself, like, I will remember this. This is kind of special.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
There'll be a movie about it.
There will be a movie about it.
That would be great.
Get on it, Joel.
Or Joel.
That's a great idea. I think that's one. And Joel's my firstborn son.
I love Joel. I just literally bumped into him at the gym.
Wow.
Yeah. And him and I were like holding on to each other like long lost relatives.
Yes.
I was like, Joel, I went to his first show in Chicago.
Wow.
I love Joel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, talk
He's
about
a genius.
talent.
He's
just
a beautiful
talent.
genius.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Do you feel that? Like, do you feel like comics who came up after you now, like, because like when I first met you a few times, I think we had been in the same room with each other, and I said nothing. I was frozen. Completely frozen. I was like, I don't even know what to say to Margaret Cho. There's nothing I could say that would ever show you how much I love you.
Oh.
So I just sit there frozen backstage.
Oh, no.
Idiot. So I'm so happy I finally said it to you like a month ago. I was
How do
like,
I
can
get that to happen on the podcast?
Well, right. That should be a restraining order with us. But yeah, but how do you feel about that with younger comics coming up to you like and being like, hey, I do this because of you?
I love it. I mean, it's the greatest achievement. My greatest achievement is to inspire people like you so that you can go out there and do this important work. So to me, it's like, it's my legacy.
Yeah.
It's all I care about.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
I know. Like I just can't believe I'm sitting here with you.
Well,
I love it.
So many younger comics obsess over you and truly appreciate you, but they know so many of your jokes and your shows and everything. What are things that maybe they wouldn't know from behind the scenes? Like we were talking about Radio City earlier and stuff like what are stories that you fondly think back on now that you're like, I can't even believe that happened?
I think, Radio City, did I tell it on the show?
No, you can tell
Yeah,
right
you
now.
can tell
This is
it.
great.
So when I was excited when Matteo said he played Radio City Music Hall because that's like the greatest venue that you could play, I think. It is like the place where it all happens. And so Rosie O'Donnell and I did a show there, and she made a bong out of an apple, and we smoked pot in our dressing room. And the management was so mad, they kicked us out of our dressing room and locked the doors. And they told us to go in the alley outside or in our bus. And so we didn't have a dressing room, but we still had to do the show. So we were still like, waiting around to go on stage, but we didn't have a dressing room. And we just had to wait in the alley and stand there or go in our bus and just stand there. And then finally let us on the stage. But it was very, it was eye-opening. They care more about the integrity of their dressing room than their stars.
Which is crazy.
They wouldn't even let him dress up as a Rockette. And we were like, we respect it.
Oh,
we got it. We
wow.
respect it.
The whole thing,
That would be perfect, though.
The music was going to play and I was going to be in a Rockette outfit. And they go, no.
Yeah.
See, they protect their brand.
Yeah, they were like, you can't mention Rockettes, dress as a Rockette,
Wow.
dance as a Rockette, like all of those things.
Well, there's a reason why it's such an iconic place.
Yeah.
Of course.
Because they protect their it's a legacy brand.
integrity.
Their
Right.
integrity, it's really important.
And Nick would ruin their integrity.
I think you would
ruin
be a
most
beautiful,
things. Well,
you a
thank
beautiful
you.
Rockette.
Thank you.
Got the
I have the legs
for it.
I have, Margaret.
How gorgeous.
I have the legs for it, but I would ruin it. I would absolutely
I
ruin
love
their
that.
image.
What are some of the shittiest gigs you've done? I mean, this is Nick's favorite, is talking about shit gigs
I
that
know.
we
Well,
had to do.
I just
Shitty
want to
gigs.
know, like,
Well, I was on a leg of Def Jam comedy, and but it was weird because the comics were white, so it was like a Def Jam, but it was like Rodney Carrington, which is it was so bad, and I bombed so bad, and then I have a thing with that when I'm bombing, I can't. So I do bomb, but I also get mad when I'm bombing. So I'm like, if you don't like me, I'm gonna make you hate me. Like this is gonna get real ugly, and I won't get off the stage because I have this anger about it, and I will like torture them. So I had not left the stage for so long that they were singing na 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 hey goodbye, but in the round they had organized themselves to like do it
that's hysterical.
in sections. And it was so insanely bad. But yeah, like when I bomb, it's like so cataclysmic bad because I don't have a good attitude. I get angry. Now I'm a little more gracious.
Right.
Like if I'm bombing now, I'm like, okay, this is probably not working. I'll just bow out.
Right.
And it's okay. But like when I was younger, I just get so furious about it.
That's hysterical.
I bomb a lot in England. Like,
Really?
Yeah, in Edinburgh. Yeah.
Well, like the Edinburgh Festival.
The festival, yeah. I've done really bad
How
there.
many times did you do that festival?
I've done the festival like twice. It's too hard for me. It's too much shows.
It's
It's a specific vibe and atmosphere, too.
Yeah.
And don't you need time? Like, I don't know about you, but like, if I'm doing, like, say I have 3 shows in a weekend, like I'm going from here, then here, I want 4 days away from my material. Like, I need to be away from it, like recharge.
Yeah,
I
for
can't
sure.
do it every night.
It's
like,
too hard.
It's hard.
It's too hard. But then like you have to do like 30 days of shows in a row. I think sometimes you'll get like 1 day a week off, but yeah, it's so hard. But then I would do the additional like late night crazy shows where people just are shipped in from Fife and places that they just don't want to see an American, and especially don't want to see a woman. So it's like, you're challenged by identity too in those places quite a lot. So it's rough.
Do you feel, I want to ask you, do you feel like you started in the 80s moving through, how have you seen it change? People coming up against your identity, coming up in stand-up, being queer, like, you've got a lot of identities that people are forced to reconcile with in audiences, and I don't know if that's like,
Which have you found has been the hardest?
Not the hardest, but I'm just like, what's your
the hardest for
experience
people
with that?
to like.
I think in comedy, it's always going to be gender. I think it's always just, I think that comedy is such a male industry and it's such a male-driven industry, and then the mentality of comedy is quite a male affect. So that's I think the toughest thing, because it's almost as if your voice has to be on a lower register to even be heard, and it's a weird aspect to it. I think that's always sort of been the hardest thing to get over. But then also I know that women comedians are often the most successful, so our voices are necessary. But I think it is still gender based,
Which is so crazy to me because like we've talked about this before. Our favorite comics have always been women.
Yeah,
it's just
me too.
always women. And yes, I know men can be funny.
Yeah, of course.
But like, I've just never found myself being like, I can't wait to check out this guy's next special. I'm like, when is Margaret's next special? When's Kathy? Or when, you know what? Like, it's just always been women.
Right.
So
I think as
For
gay
me,
men,
it's
we
women.
relate
yes,
in
there's
a way.
there's a reason.
We know that
Yeah.
feeling of like everyone's. I hope I didn't ask an offensive question.
No,
about
not
it.
at all.
But yeah, because I know the feeling of being the only gay guy in a room, especially open mics.
Yeah.
60 straight dudes, maybe
Yeah.
one or two girls, and then I walk
Yeah.
up there, and it's like this sort of look of like, that. Like, and what are you going to talk about? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But
then
it-
also you can flip it on them and then they get really excited.
Yeah.
So
100%.
what is a challenge for us too is like, well, how do we play that? We can play that animosity and really use it to our advantage.
Right.
So that's really powerful. And that's what you see a lot with race, like when people can say, hey, you're going to listen. Like, so race comes into play a little for me, I think. I can play with that. I can work with that. And with sexuality, it's less, I think, because audiences are much more inclined to listen to lesbians than they are to gay men.
100%.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
hard
we
for gay men.
have, surprisingly, I feel like we've, as the years go on, we hear that our fan base and audience for the podcast, we keep gaining more straight male listeners, which is always surprising to us because not that we're not funny, but it's just like, it's always surprising as a gay man to hear it. But even still, I'll have relatives or something, I'll say, oh, you should go see this comic, and they're gay, and they're like, yeah, but I'm not going to relate to that. I was like, no, but they're funny.
Yeah.
But they can't compute
Right.
that it's like, no, they will not say one thing the whole time that I will be able to relate to.
Yeah,
And
or
it's
they're like afraid that they're going to relate to
They're
it
gonna
or
catch-
something.
exactly. They're afraid they're going
Yes.
to catch it.
Yeah.
They think they're going to catch it.
They're going to catch it.
Yeah. But I
It's
will
weird.
say I've found like, for so many years of just kind of struggling and doing, shows at 2:00 in the morning and being surrounded by only straight people. And this sort of goes to what you were saying. It's like you can turn that back on the audience. But there are so many moments where you have to refine that because I'm sure, as you know, there are things that you say and you hear two people laughing for two different reasons.
Right.
One is because it's intentional, we want them. The other because they think we're sort of like stereotyping ourselves, which
yeah.
is not what's happening.
Yeah.
And there's almost like a resentment on stage hearing the one kind of laughter.
Yeah, it's like you're not laughing for the right reasons.
Right.
And I want to educate you and to know this is why you should be laughing at it, not because of the reason that you think. Like it becomes very granular and complicated. So I totally get that.
What was the first joke you ever wrote that worked on stage that you remember?
I would have to follow like a bunch of like guy white comics doing jokes about Asian drivers. And then I would go on and be like, my name is Margaret Cho and I drive very well. And people would laugh because they felt so bad after laughing about like Asian drivers for so many hours. And then I would just sort of follow it up with, whatever I could like think of. But it was that disarming and going, I know that I'm in an environment that is inherently racist, but we're going to stop that now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Margaret, we've started doing a section on guest podcasts specifically where I do rapid fire questions off the top of my head that
Okay.
I've prepared in no way, shape, or form because
Okay.
we prepare nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
So
I thought we
I
did pretty
will-
good today.
Really?
We have done well,
good.
But I
it's
also know
also
Margaret's
I was
entire
going to
career.
say it's easy to do well when you idolize a person.
Yeah.
But I go until I basically can't think of any more questions. It'll start easy, go to hard, and you can pass if you don't want to answer.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
This is a segment that he did not approve with me. He just decides to bring it up.
It's
so
now
I'm
our
happy
like
to-
four. Bob, I did it with. Otsko, I did it with. Heather McDonald,
for the
I've done
thumbs
it
up,
with. Thank
Bob.
you, Bob. All right, ready?
Yes.
And go. What would your last meal be?
I think it would probably be like some kind of like a Doritos taco, like a crispy taco, but with like a Doritos shell. Like I really like that promotion. I don't think they do that at Taco Bell anymore.
No, they do have a Dorito hard taco.
Okay, that's what I'm looking
Or they
for.
did, but yeah, oof, it was
Yeah.
good. I love that. Favorite city you've ever toured to or enjoy touring to the most?
Oh, I love Paris.
Oh, yeah.
It's really fun to do stand up in Paris. It's like you feel so cunt.
And they're also really good audiences.
They're really laughing. They're so excited that you came. Yeah, I love it.
I did Paris once real quick. I mean, this is a joke that I used before, but it's a true story. You know, when you go up in American audiences, like when you ask, how's everybody, like, how's everybody doing? Is everyone good? Woo! woo. So I did it in Paris. I was like, oh my God, so excited to be in Paris. Is everyone doing good? And at all 2,000 of them went, yes. I was like,
Yes.
oh my God.
So funny.
We.
Least favorite city you've toured or perform in?
Gosh. Least favorite? Well, it's like, I wouldn't say it was like the city's fault. It's almost like, I don't know. I don't even know.
You don't have to have one either.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
The Improv in Orlando, when I said it was hot on stage, and the manager decided to turn all the lights off and thought that was the right solution.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That was a wild night.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Most starstruck you've ever been?
What is when you marry people?
Are you
Officiated Chaz Bono's wedding.
Oh my God.
A couple of weeks ago. And of course, Cher was in the wedding party. And I was like, I was so,
Of course.
it's Cher. It's fucking Cher. And I couldn't speak. I literally could not. I just couldn't speak.
Did she come up to you?
Well, we were in the wedding party. So it was just like Chaz and, his new bride and, a couple people. And then Cher was there. And I was so awkward. And I mean, she was not really, of course, in show business. It's just, her son's wedding. So it was sort of this very emotional thing. And she was weeping and, it was quite a deep day. So I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Cher's like, she's crying. So when I'm like, holy,
You already didn't know what to say, and now you're like, now I really don't know what to say.
she's crying, and I'm like, I really don't. No.
Because you can't go into that moment. Hi, I'm comedian Margaret Cho.
Yeah.
It's so nice to meet you.
I am such a huge fan.
I'm such a fan, but it was like not a showbiz wedding. It was quite subdued. It was really small. Mm-hmm. There's really no like celebrity presence or any sort of thing. Nothing. I mean, it was just a small family affair.
And Chaz asked you to do that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He's a friend.
Chaz also doesn't get enough credit, by the way. Talk about someone who was like on the front
cool.
lines.
Yeah, super cool dude.
And now he's just like, all right, I'm going to go have a nice life.
Yeah, and he's married a beautiful woman, and it's really wonderful. Their story is really great. And, they were friends as children, and, sort of their lives came back around to bring them together, which is, we believe in love. But I'm trying
Do you believe?
Do you believe?
That's why he didn't ask you to officiate.
I should have sang that in there to sort of get over this. I was so scared. Can
you imagine
But you
going
did
up to
it.
Cher crying, singing Believe?
Do you believe?
Then she really would have cried.
They'd be like, ma'am.
I don't know. Who have you met that you were like?
The biggest one was Mariah Carey.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Or Oprah.
Oh yeah, I met Oprah. And
Oprah's great.
But she walked by in Italy. Oh. And I was having lunch with my friend Daniele Gaetano, who's an Italian comic, and he started panicking. And I was like, what? He was like, in Italian, he was like, look behind you. And I was like, what? He's like, Oprah. I was like, Oprah? He's like, Oprah Winfrey, Matteo, Oprah Winfrey, Matteo. And we were in this place called Da Francesco in Rome, in Campo di Fiori. And it's a small, like, kind of normal, like, trattoria. It's not like a super fancy restaurant. Good food. You should go. And she walks in, and she's got Gail with her. And she's in these tall heels. And so I said, this is 100% true. I thought, what can I say to Oprah to let her know I'm American, I'm gay, and she looks great. So she walked by. She's this far away from me. I said, you better work, Oprah. And she goes, you better work. And went in. But when I met Gail a year ago, she remembered me. She was like, I remember you in Rome. We were at Da Francesco. I remember you saying to Oprah, you better work. I was like, that's funny.
That's great.
But Mariah, I mean, I'm a huge Mariah Carey fan.
Yeah.
Have you met Mariah?
I met her in very early in her career. We were at a big party at Sandy Gallen's house, and I gotten stoned with Steven Dorff on the beach, and I come back to the house just out of it and fucked up. And then Mariah was just standing there in front of me, and somebody introduced us, and I was just high and just staring at her. And we're just standing there, and somebody walked over, and Mariah was like looking around, and she was like, this fucking bitch, like she's fucking following me, and she's fucking, I'm fucking gonna beat this bitch up. And she's like talking to me about some bitch she's going to beat up. And I'm like, high, so I'm not sure what she wants me to do about it. I'm like scared. And then somebody came over to Mariah and handed her a cassette tape with her new album. And she was like, oh, see, this is my new record. I'm so excited to hear it. She's like waving it around the air, and she's like also looking around to see if that bitch was there. I think she was talking about J-Lo, who was also at the party, but I didn't know who any of them were.
Who she famously said, I don't know her.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I mean, I imagine she was there because it was a big party.
So is this like 1997, 98?
No, this is like 1990.
Damn,
Like,
you met
or
like Mariah
91.
like right fresh into the scene.
Because I
Curly
wasn't
hair.
famous.
Yeah, curly
Fresh, famous
hair.
Mariah.
Like, well, I knew that she was famous, but I did not really know why.
Right.
And so that's my Mariah Carey story.
Oh my
She was
God.
going to beat a bitch's ass. I believe it.
Allegedly
She is-
J-Lo.
She is from Long Island, so
Yeah.
you know she's ready to.
Fair. She's lived a life.
Yeah.
She has lived a life.
Childhood crush.
Oh, I think all of the Osmonds,
Sure.
from Alan to Marie.
Sure.
Every
I just know
single
Donnie.
one. Yeah,
To Marie.
Alan to Marie. All of the ones. You
And
know,
Marie still holds up.
it's Alan, Meryl, Jay, Donnie, Jimmy, and Marie.
And all of them collectively. One
All
big
of them.
crush.
Yeah, just because they all. Alan just died, I think, on Tuesday. But
Oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Alan.
they're very quite an impressive band. Also,
I remember the best thing that Donny Osmond ever did, and it was not Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, was singing "I'll Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan.
Wow.
It's like the best song of all Disney, at least of our age.
Yeah.
It's a good karaoke song.
Yeah,
So I always think
yeah.
of Donny Osmond with that.
He's great.
You have to choose either go to space or go deep underwater in a submarine.
I think I would want to go deep underwater in a submarine.
Really?
More than space. But that's hard. It's like Titan submersible, or you're up there with Gail. And
You're up
Katy
there
Perry.
with Gail, or
And
you're
Katy Perry.
exploding with billionaires.
Yeah, explode up. But I would go with Gail. I like Gail.
I love
Yeah,
Gail.
Gail's
Love
amazing.
Gail's lovely.
She's great.
But I don't know if I would want to go to space. I don't know. I feel
think
like
I would choose space over.
I would choose space. I do not want to go underwater.
the Titan submersible is like so
That story is so
awful.
So awful. And you know what's even crazier is I was listening, James Cameron, who is like a big submersible guy.
Imagine I was like, who's that?
Well, but in the sense that I listened to this interview with him recently, and I was kind of, I know he's been like, people talk about how much of an asshole he is like on set, but I was really impressed by the knowledge he had about going underwater and everything that was wrong with the Titan. He's like, oh yeah, we knew the second they said they lost it that they were dead. We don't know why that they were even searching for 4 days. We knew that this noise meant this. We knew that this kind of carbon can only last for this long.
Oh,
I was
wow.
really
Well, yeah,
fascinated
no one
by
says
it.
he's not
Interesting.
smart. They just say he's a nightmare.
Yeah, but I mean,
Interesting, yeah.
he makes good movies besides
does.
Avatar.
Well, don't even get us started.
but it's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Yeah.
Favorite movie franchise?
I don't think this counts, but all of Todd Haynes' like really brightly colored films where everybody's gay.
Sure.
So like Velvet Goldmine and Far From Heaven and all of I think they're all great. I mean all of Todd Haynes' films.
That's a franchise.
It's a franchise.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
gay Technicolor kind of
Dreamcoat.
very
Donny Osmond.
Dreamcoat where everybody's gay and struggling with it. I love
That's
a gay historical
Chelsea.
like Carol. I watch
yeah.
Carol every year for Christmas.
I would just say for Christmas.
Because it's just my Christmas movie. So you need
100%.
some lesbian longing. Kate Blanchett longing.
Kate Blanchett.
I love
longing.
gay longing, which is why
Adele.
it's heated rivalry. It's
Yeah,
like I
of
love
course.
a gay
That yearning.
a
just-
yearning gay longing kind of life. So yeah, all of Todd Haynes' films are all full of very brightly colored gay longing.
Reboots are big right now. If you were given full control, would you reboot All American Girl today?
I would love to. I would love to.
Actually, that would be a great
It would be
reboot.
It would be a great reboot. I think it would be a lot of fun.
You heard it here first.
I'm into
Make
it. Let's
happen.
do it.
But
Let's
you've-
do it.
We give our okay. Not that it's
Perfect.
We'll
needed.
be your gay neighbors.
I love
Your
it.
gay neighbors.
Let's do it.
Well, I'll drive a car. I don't even need a
Perfect.
talking role. Worst celebrity event or celebrity encounter you've had?
Oh,
You can
gosh.
skip if you want
I
to.
was like, you can pass.
I don't know. Worst, I think, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think we're friends now, but I was really scared of Sharon Stone.
She just started following me on Instagram the other day.
She's great.
I lost it. I was like, Sharon Stone.
She's such an icon. She's such an icon, but I was really scared. I was very scared, and I asked her for a photo one time, and she was like, all right. And I was so scared. And but I am friends with her now, and I think she's a dream.
I love that.
Before we wrap this up, because we don't want to take any more of your time, but I do want to ask you, did you ever get to work or hang out with Joan Rivers?
Yes, a lot. And when I would bomb, I would talk to her, and she would be like, "Oh, fuck them." And she was very generous with me. She always gave me a ton of like jewelry and fragrances from her collections, and I worked with her a lot. She would just do anything that I asked.
Do you have a favorite Joan story?
When we would do Fashion Police in the morning, I remember because we would go in at like 5 in the morning after award shows, and so to get the show filmed, and she had a huge Aventi Starbucks cup, and she would pour it out and fill it with Chardonnay, and it was so classy at 5 in the morning. It was so amazing. She's just an icon.
One better.
Love her.
No one
And
better.
I never got to meet Joan.
She was the best. She would have loved you.
Yeah, I was very. I did the Joan Rivers tribute, and I got to meet Melissa. And I never met Melissa. That was like kind of dark on stage, and they're setting everything up, you know. And then all of a sudden, I just hear her voice say Matteo, and this tiny woman comes over. It's Melissa. I immediately started bawling.
Yeah.
Bawling, and she was like, "What is wrong with this guy?" You know, and I said,
Like, pull it together.
Yeah, and I was like, I have this thing, and I want to make sure it's funny, and I don't want to offend. She goes, offend? She goes, Matteo, I'm bringing out my mother's urn, and I'm going to drop it all over the stage. She goes, what could you say? You know, I was like,
So
okay,
funny.
you're right. This is the Joan Rivers tribute.
I love it.
I can't thank you enough for coming.
Thank
on and
you
doing
so
this.
much for doing it.
Thank you.
Such an honor.
So wonderful.
So fun.
Such
Do you
an
want to let
honor.
everybody know what's up and where
I'm
you're at?
on tour, so people can go to margaretcho.com and they can find out where I'm on tour. This is Lucia.
And then
Will Lucia be on tour?
Lucia will be on tour.
So come see Margaret and Lucia
Lucia.
on tour. And thank you all for watching and listening to another episode of our podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, join our Patreon for bonus episodes and behind the scenes content. And until next time.